Welcome to Her Health First Wellness Collective, where Black women come first. We're here to educate, advocate, and empower you to take charge of your health. Because your well-being is not optional, it's essential. On today's episode, we're talking about the music, movies, and TV shows that inspire my sister, the ones that remind her of her strength, and the ones that she just can't live without. Ready to join the conversation? Come on in. Good afternoon, y'all, and welcome back to Her Health First Wellness Collective. And of course, we have our perpetual guest on here, Tamesha. So it's Wednesday, and of course, you know what it is. It's chemo day. So we're here now. She's already got her blood drawn, and we're here. She's got her pre-meds going. So she's gotten her anti-nausea medicine. She's gotten her medicine for heartburn, and it also helps just in case she has an allergic reaction to one of the meds. And now she's getting, you guessed it, the Benadryl. Okay, so you know we need to. All right, so so first things first, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I can't complain.
What we got? 2 thumbs up, 1 up, 1 down. What we got today?
I'd say probably thumbs up, 1 thumbs down because I still have the cough.
No, that cough has been going on. Yeah,
but it's the mucus.
Yeah.
Mucus is
Yeah.
it's tough on me.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, we're hoping since the cough is getting better that she's increased her fluid. So we're hoping that they got her coconut water. So she's increased her fluid. So I'm hoping that that mucus just starts to go away. But her nurse today, who was very attentive. I mean, she pulled a little stool up over here. She sat down. And she had a whole conversation. So love it, love it, love it. But she did say she's going to send a message to the doctor and just see if they want to do something since she's had this cough for so long. So we'll wait and see. All right. So today we are going to talk about something, I guess, I don't know. This is like something that we all do. But today we're going to talk about how music, movies, and TV has helped her escape, heal, or find comfort during this journey. So you ready? All right, let's do it. All right, so first is music. The first question is there a specific song or genre of music that you've turned to when you need comfort or a mood boost? Like a pick-me-up song.
Kitchen or doing something, I just throw on my Pandora, and it's usually like maybe R&B, and I do like my rap. It definitely the gangster rap. Sometimes I need to hear it,
Right.
and I would listen to some gospel songs too. Mainly R&B, mainly
Okay.
R&B.
So what is it about R&B that resonates with you?
R&B, you could just relate to the love songs, to the heartbreaks, and it takes you back, but then it brings me back to the present day. So
Right.
for me, it just shows me the growth, I guess.
Right.
If I would have to sum it up.
Okay. All right. So have you discovered any new artists or albums during treatment that have become part of the playlist?
Actually, I did it.
No.
The same old. I be listening to my Tasia station. Yes, Fantasia. I was listening to Anthony Hamilton station. I throw in some Monica. Can't forget Keisha Cole.
Oh yeah.
Heather
Headley.
Headley. Tamia.
Yeah.
All those. Them 90s music. How
Right.
Just that music in that era. The music, the words, what they're saying is just so captivating.
Right.
And it just takes me away from what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Than what's going on now in my life. So that's why I like to listen to those songs.
Okay. I like it. What is it about that music? So I know you said you relate to the love songs and it takes you back to that time when the song was out, then, back to the present. But is there anything in particular, like something that they have in common that just keeps you locked in with those artists or R&B period?
I think it's just me. I think for me, I'm not knocking the new music. I haven't been listening to like the newer music.
Right.
Because I don't listen to the radio. The only way I know a song is like famous is like if I'm on TikTok. That's the only way I would know. I usually just listen to my Pandora stations. So for me, I'm kind of still stuck.
Right.
With the music that I've been listening to. I mean, maybe I should have be a little more open and listen to the newer music, but I just feel like I can more relate to the older music than I can the newer music. And I'm not knocking, none of the new artists or anything. That's just, what I listen to.
Right, right. And I think that's what we all do in our age range. I think we just kind of stuck on. For me, it's like the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. That's that time right there. And what makes it worse is that here we have a radio station that's dedicated just to that time period. So you're gonna hear Sir Mix-a-Lot, you're gonna hear Next, you're gonna hear Case, you're gonna hear 112. So all those artists and all those songs that were popular when we were in our late teens, early 20s, they're on this radio station. So that does not make it any better. But I support it. I support it. So is there any song in particular that reminds you of maybe a less complicated time in your life, or a reminder that serves as a reminder of how strong you are?
I think the song that I probably would listen to that probably would give me that and let me know how strong I am is probably Still Standing by Monica. Featuring Ludacris. I do listen to that song.
Yeah.
Like pretty much when I turn on the Pandora, I will turn that song on.
Yeah.
Just to hear it, because sometimes you do have to remind yourself, like, you're strong, you got this. Talk to yourself, motivate yourself.
Okay.
Because, like, I don't like to be in the mind frame of being, like, like cancer just is going to consume my whole life and it's going to take me out. So I try to keep myself always so, like, more uplifting. Like, you got this. Actually, to be honest, this is like round number 7 out of 16. Next week, I will be at the halfway mark. So,
yes.
So I'm excited. I think the more that the weeks go on, the more excited I get because I know that I will almost be finished with the first phase.
Right.
So.
Right.
But Still Standing, definitely by Monica.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. All right. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, is there a go-to playlist or song that helps you calm down?
I don't really know if I got it to the point where I'm overwhelmed. So I just listen to my, my, couple of stations on Pandora.
Yeah. Okay.
The R&B, but I'm not gonna say I'm overwhelmed because I feel like there's no point of me being overwhelmed with this. Now, don't get me wrong. Some days I'd be just like I'd be like I'm over it. I just wanted to be over with. But I know that in order for me to heal and to think, I have to be positive. I cannot have any like those negative thoughts. I cannot have that. I cannot have it. So I feel like it will slow down my progress of healing. So.
Okay, I like it. All right, so last question about music. If you had to pick one song to be the theme of this breast cancer journey, what would it be and why?
Probably would be Monica Still Standing.
Still Standing.
Because when it's all over, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Right. Okay. All right, so let's move on to movies and TV shows. So when you need to disconnect from anything, are there any movies or TV shows that help you escape and relax?
Oh, I'm definitely a Tubi. I'm like a Tubi. I watch Tubi, and then I watch some. I've been watching Amazon lately, but I think I'm gonna go back to Tubi because I do like the movies on Tubi. So, and don't get me wrong, the movies on Amazon, they're good. I'm not knocking Amazon movies, but I do like Tubi. Tubi have a little more selection that I like.
Right.
They have a more the movies that I like to watch. They're more so too.
Okay.
I do like to watch like movies of people having like overcoming things. Maybe it was like adopted or something. They overcame the struggle. I do like to watch those type of movies.
So what is it about those shows or movies that make it feel so comforting? Like that makes you want to keep watching that?
Because it just goes to show you that people go through so many different things and that even though we all go through different things, you can still overcome. You can overcome these things.
Right.
I mean, some stories have good endings, some have okay endings.
Right.
Some have not so great endings.
Right.
But it just goes to show that how we're all different, but we still in the same way. We're still similar because we go through things.
Right. Right. Okay. Are there any films or TV characters that you found yourself relating to during this journey?
I can't remember the names on the top of my head, but there were a few stories that I was watching that actually I didn't even know the movie was about. the women having breast cancer. One of the movies I believe was called Congressman in Cali, and she actually had breast cancer. So usually when on TV, when you're watching watching a movie, they try to put movies that are
Okay.
to what you just watched, which
Right.
is another thing. That's why
Right.
it keeps it going. So I
Right.
did watch that movie the other day. It was a it was a pretty good movie. Sad,
Yeah.
but I understood, the message. So I did like the movie.
Okay. Okay. So how do they reflect your experiences or your emotions? What happened in the story? How does that reflect what you're feeling during your journey?
So for her, she pretty much just took it all on. She didn't really want anyone to pity her. She just, did her everyday life. She didn't even tell. She was very kind of, I guess, secretive in a way, because she didn't. I guess she didn't want certain loved ones to, I guess, feel that, feel that pain for her, or
Right.
however, whatever the reason why she didn't want to tell them, but she pretty much like kept it.
And I know I've heard you say before that, you don't want anybody feeling bad for you. You don't want anybody being sad about you having cancer and stuff like that. So I definitely see how that lines up with you. Is there anything that you've watched that made you just laugh and forget about cancer, even just for a moment?
I've already been watching funny movies to be honest. So no.
Okay.
No, I know I have cancer, but I don't just be like saying, "Oh my God, dang, I have cancer."
Right.
So, a lot of times when I'm watching a movie, I'm just watching it. Another thing that I do every day, pretty much, is watch basketball. So basketball probably would be that would be what I do to take away everything that I'm thinking. Right. Basketball makes me zone out everything.
Gotcha. Okay. I like it. Ready for basketball. Because let me tell y'all, okay, she is serious about this basketball. When I tell you she be on it, she be on the phone with her boo. They be talking about the teams, who's in, who's out, who's a game time decision. Well, they be serious. And don't let her put in for a parlay and somebody not perform the way they've been performing. She is going to sell all the way out. Y'all remember? Y'all remember her in those nose hairs last week? This is worse. She is so disgusted when they don't show up and do what they're supposed to do. It's too funny.
You're too big not to be doing what you're supposed to do. That's how I feel about it.
She be having a whole attitude about it, but I support it. I support it. So as far as movies go, do you feel like there's a specific genre that you gravitate toward? I know you said you haven't been watching comedies, but is there another genre like drama that you gravitate towards when you need to unwind or just relax or go to bed? Like something you will put on just before bed.
I like urban. I like the novel movie. I just watched a movie called, I think, Hijackers on Amazon. It was a foreign film, but it was converted in English. It was okay. So I've been trying to watch a little bit of different things, not just watch the same type of
Right,
movies.
right.
Be a little diverse.
Okay, all right, okay. We're clocking it for diversity. I support it. So why do you think that genre is the one that works best for you?
I think that because I like a lot of times for me, I watch the movies because of the actor. If it's an actor that I'm familiar with, I keep watching it.
Oh,
Watching them and watching their movies. Just because I like them or I like the character that they played.
oh yeah.
In the first movie that I watched or whatever. I just because.
Yeah. Okay. Have you watched any uplifting or motivational films that have helped you find strength or inspiration while you've been going through treatment?
Watch, but I cannot remember the name on the top of my head. But it's about a man that got robbed, and the same person that robbed him, he has to take care of him.
Oh wow.
So it's just that movie. That's what I'm watching, and I wish I remember the name, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So that's a movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It just shows you like how people can go from here to here.
The drop of a hat.
So it's like it makes me just sit and think like, you know what? Make me be more thankful because he went from being an attorney to being homeless. So it's like I'm thankful. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Makes me be appreciative.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So are there any nostalgic shows or movies from your childhood that you've turned to for comfort during this time? Or even if you have another movie that, not necessarily from your childhood, but just a movie that you like to watch that, this movie and the movie is just, it feels comforting to you.
No, probably the movies that I do be watching over and over. I'm not gonna lie, is the this is Optimus Prime calling
Oh,
all
yeah.
Autobot. And I do like Bumblebee. I watch that movie over and
Yeah.
over. Anything with the Transformers. I
Yeah.
even watch the Transformer One cartoon.
Right.
I do watch them over and over and over and over.
Okay, well that's all right. That's all right. But what about it you think brings you comfort?
It's like Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's just really what it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I support it. All right. So next question. Do you feel like there's a healing power in music or TV shows during tough times?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think so. I think what you associate yourself with and listen to can also help determine your attitude. Because if you're just going to be watching everything that is so like sad, this person is sick and you're dying,
Right.
it's just going to be like, I think it may play with your mental.
Right.
Is that going to happen to me? Or,
Right.
like I always say, that their story is not your story.
Absolutely. So how do you feel like they help you with the emotional side of dealing with your diagnosis?
It helps me because I can relate. And I can relate to them, and then it's like some of the movies are inside. I just sit and think like, look, this happened to me. I'm going through the same thing they're going through,
Right.
but I'm still here,
All right.
standing and fighting. It just makes me, look at things differently.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So can you think of an example of a song or something that's really helped lift your spirits? Maybe on a day where you were super tired, because I know you don't really get down that much. But maybe on a day you were super tired, or a day where you were feeling a little down and didn't feel like getting out of bed or something. Is there a movie or a TV show or a music, a song that made you want to get up?
But usually, if I don't feel like moving, I usually just throw on a movie. I just go through. It's another movie that I watched on Amazon too, but it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Something Moon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I tend to turn that movie on because I like the storyline and I like the action. I like stuff action, action packed. So that movie, I do turn to that movie, but I cannot remember its name off the top of my head.
Okay. Okay.
It's on.
So when she remembers the names of these movies, then I'll put them on a. They'll be at the end of the video on a page. So do you ever use music or movies as a way to process emotions that you may not have the words for?
Yes, I do. Music, because music is a universal language, and sometimes when you're feeling a certain type of way, then music, like you can find music to uplift you.
Right.
You don't even have to be in that state of mind. That watch your state of mind and be like, oh my gosh, to do all these things, I'm never gonna get it over with. When you do that and you start doing all the negative, it starts to consume you,
Right.
consume your thoughts, and I don't like thinking that way. So I try not to even think that way.
Right.
Even when I do, like I just think the other day I just said, hey, I don't want to go to chemo today. But I know if I didn't go to chemo today, then it's just gonna prolong
Right.
my path to recovery.
Okay. Well, look, in answering that question, you answered our next question, because the next one was, in moments when you feel down, how does a movie, music, or a favorite movie help you change your perspective or get through the day? And you said, the music lifts your spirits and stuff like that. So, all right. So, what specific role, if any, do you feel like music, movies, and TV shows play in your mental health journey? Do you look at them as a form of therapy, maybe?
I would say a form of therapy. Music definitely therapeutic. The
Yeah.
movies, you're just watch the movies and it can, make you, look at things from, other people's perspectives. I think for me with the movies more so make me like think differently instead of me seeing like, oh my god, I'm not going to be done with chemo, all this, negative. Oh, I don't. what am I gonna do? And I have to answer. So if I just think the movies just take my mind away from a lot of things that were thinking in my head.
Yeah. So help you get out of your head somewhat. Okay. All right. I support it. All right. So this is our last category is feel good moments. So I know you talked about Still Standing for Monica as a song. And Transformers as far as movies. Is there anything else, any other movie, song, TV show that never, no matter what, it always puts a smile on your face? Other than those two, or are those two it? Okay. Okay, good, good. So if you could have a song track to this journey, what songs would you include? We already know. Still Standing by Monica, okay? We already know. What else? Okay, Marvin Sapp.
Marvin Sapp.
I'm mad she sang it though.
For me, I think it pretty much all of it, not all, but the old school R&B
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't really have a particular playlist.
Right.
Still standing. I don't have a particular playlist.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, just, this is always me on the outside looking in, that when I think of her and the strength that she's had to be able to go through this, the song that always comes to mind for me is Rise Up by Andra Day. I think that's her name. Yeah, and yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah, I love that song. I mean, I love the song before, her diagnosis. I just because I love her voice. It's so rich. But the words and I feel like it's just so fitting for her journey. So I think that's one that I think of when I think of the strength and the courage that she's had throughout this journey.
Definitely right.
Yeah, I love that song. All right, last question. Is there a song or movie you'd recommend to other women going through cancer treatment to help them feel empowered or uplifted?
The song probably would be, let me see if I'm saying her name right. She sung Bigger Than the Universe. I like the song.
I don't know that song.
I'm going to have to get back to you over there.
Okay, we'll put it. Let me do a quick Google search. What you said it's called? Bigger Than the Universe?
What she say, Bigger Than the Universe in the song.
Oh, well, let me go on. Hold on. Let me go on Music is in. On Apple Music, you can search lyrics. Okay, oh, easy. Jacqueline Carr, maybe?
Jacqueline.
There it is. Yeah. Jacqueline Carr. Okay, so we'll add that to the list of movies and music that we're gonna put on the end because we owe y'all a couple.
Very touching, but it gives you that motivation.
Yeah.
Right. It's bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, those are all my questions for today. Again, as always, I appreciate you sharing your journey and, allowing me to help share your journey because I know this is something deeply private and, what like we always say, our goal is that if there's somebody else who's going through the same thing and, maybe they don't have the type of support that you have or they don't have the mindset that you have, that they can take, one thing away. If you could take one thing away from any of these videos that we've done, I feel like we've done a really good job. So thank you for tuning in. As always, we love you and thank you so, so, so much for your support. And speaking of support, oh my goodness, talking about people who have Tamesha in their prayer circles and they're saying prayers for her. We even have, I think it's a cousin in England who's has a candle with her name on it and has it up at the altar. So we're definitely appreciative of the support, virtual support, physical support. We're definitely, that spiritual support. We're definitely grateful. Definitely grateful. So we will see you back. We're going to finish out round 7 today, and we'll see you back next week for round 8. All right. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Her Health First Wellness Collective. I hope today's video gave you the knowledge, inspiration, or support that you needed. If you found this helpful, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and share it with someone who could use it too. And don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a new upload. Now let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Your voice matters here. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and remember, her health comes first. See y'all soon.